Hello everyone, I remember being about 10 years old. Around that time, cable TV arrived in our house, with a huge number of channels, including Eurosport. And then one day, sitting before dinner, I was flipping through the channels, looking for something to watch. And then I got to Eurosport and saw this. My dumpling practically fell back on my plate. I had more questions than answers. About 30 years have passed since then. I think it's time to figure out what exactly was going on. Are you interested in joining in? So, oddly enough, it all started with farmers simply swearing at each other. Back then, not to mention tractors, there was no trace of any self-propelled machinery. When bragging about the harvest got boring, they started swearing at each other with farm implements and the poor animals that actually powered the machinery back then. Most often, they'd take a door from a nearby barn, put some kind of load on it, and harness a poor horse to it. The winner was the one whose horse could pull the load the farthest. And when horses were replaced by tractors, they began to compete in pulling and loading. This whole thing started around the 1930s in America and, over the next 40 years, became so popular that it evolved into a rational professional form of motorsport. In some cases, the budgets were simply astronomical. So, what's the point of all this? A tractor is attached to a sled, which, ideally, needs to be pulled across the entire 100-meter track. But this is oh so difficult. The thing is, the sleds that the tractors pull have a rather intricate design. Over the course of this motorsport's existence, sleds have evolved from a simple door onto which a load was placed into a complex design with dynamic weight transfer. It works roughly like this. The front end has a flat bottom, and the rear end has wheels. Inside the sled is a special mechanism capable of shifting the load from the rear to the front. The mechanism is adjusted so that as the track progresses, the front of the sled becomes increasingly loaded. This means that the closer to the finish line, the harder it is for the tractor to pull the sled. The tractors themselves are naturally divided into classes. Limited Farm is the entry-level class, open to anyone. In this class, only modifications aimed at improving safety are permitted. The higher classes differ from each other mainly in the extent of permitted modifications. And the apex of this pyramid is the supermodified class. That's where the real madness begins. How about a tractor with 4 supercharged V8s or a tractor with an airplane engine? Let's not skimp. Tractors with 4 aircraft engines, V12 engines, and helicopter engines are also common in this class. Basically, anything that can turn wheels is used. So it's no surprise that this class is a spectator favorite. The spectacle is further enhanced by the fact that the tractor often ends up on its rear wheels while moving. To prevent it from tipping over completely, the rear is equipped with special stabilizer beams. And to allow the pilot to somehow correct the tractor's movement when only the rear wheels are in contact with the road, it is possible to brake either the rear left or rear right wheel individually, allowing for maneuvering. One of the most common and long-awaited failures for most spectators is the front wheels falling off. This happens because when the front end lifts while driving, the moment of lifting sometimes happens too quickly, causing the stabilizer beams I mentioned earlier to hit the ground at a very high speed and throw the front of the tractor back at the same tremendous speed. This causes the heavy engine suspension in front of the tractor to epically disintegrate, to the delight of the spectators, sending the small front wheels flying. Also, the disintegrating engines followed by the fire show will keep the spectators thirsty for automotive blood from getting bored. Incidentally, not only tractors but also Jeeps participate in towing the loads, which, incidentally, also looks exciting. You can also see some kind of hot rods and huge trucks. This is such a seemingly simple, but in fact not very good form of motorsport. Thank you all for watching. I wish you all the best of luck and free money and free time to be able to do something like this. Until next time, bye.